In this video, I'm going to be going over 10 things that my clients are doing to generate over 10K per month in their online fitness coaching businesses. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kieran. I'm a fitness business consultant and I help fitness coaches and personal trainers scale to 10 to 50K per month online. So let's not waste any more time. Number one is that they are focused on becoming the person that's capable of achieving the goal, not just setting a goal and trying to achieve it. So what I mean by that is people get fixated on the end result instead of actually trying to become the person who is capable of reaching that goal. So if you try and become the person who is capable of reaching that goal, you're more focused on the daily standards, the habits, things like that. Because if you're not doing those things, then naturally you're not going to reach the goal. However, a lot of people just set the goal of like 10K per month. They get too fixated on the outcome and they forget about how important actually the daily actions are. So instead of thinking big picture, we break it down into smaller chunks and focus on those daily actions. So that's number one. Number two is when it comes to their offer and like their niche, we're trying to swim downstream, right? We're trying to avoid anything that is going to cause too much friction or put you at a disadvantage when it comes to giving your value to the market. So things as an example to that. So there's a few things here. One is expertise and transformation. The number one go-to thing for picking a niche should always be your own achievements and your own transformation, because those are the kind of people who you're going to relate to the most. And that's actually quite a big thing when it comes to coaching, because coaching's a people's business. So the people want to like you, to look up to you, see you as a role model. So if you haven't actually done the thing that you're teaching, that's going to put you at a disadvantage. Things aren't going to click as easily. Just an example for this, I seen a guy the other day. He's a man and he's trying to coach mums to lose weight, and he hasn't even come from a weight loss transformation, never mind being a woman and knowing what it's like to be a woman and all their problems that they deal with and stuff. So, and he's got like a lot of posts, like 1,000 posts, but he only has like 300 followers, and it's like, dude, come on. Like, it's just such a waste of time. Like, just focus on people who are going to relate to you the most. That's like the number one thing you could do to make it easy for yourself. Number two is actually selling something that's solving a big, painful problem, right? If you're just doing something that's a nice to have, or it's a luxury, you're going to struggle to make a lot of money, to make good money doing that, because there's just not enough urgency and demand to actually solve that problem. So you need to make sure that you're focusing on the biggest problem that you have the expertise to solve, and really doubling down on that. The next thing is it being like, are these people you're targeting actually accessible? And if they are accessible online, which most are these days, you need to know where these people are hanging out. If you're on TikTok targeting people over 60, that's going to put you at a disadvantage. You're going to struggle to actually get in front of these people. So it's just being about knowing where the people you're targeting are actually hanging out, so that you're in the best position to get your message in front of them. And the last thing I just wanted to touch on was unique mechanisms. So instead of you just copying what everyone else is doing, like the old, hey, I'm selling a training plan, nutrition plan and check-ins for this amount of money, that's boring. No one wants that. Everyone and their dog is selling that on Instagram, let's be honest. So you need to look at the transformation that you're selling and think about how you can coin a process that is completely unique to your way of doing things. Listen, it's not going to be completely different to what other people are doing, right? Let's be honest, it's going to be pretty much the same, but you need to design a process right? Name the phases. What happens? How can you make this unique to you so that what you're promoting online is literally nothing like anyone else? That's how it should be on the surface. On the surface, it should look like a brand new opportunity that they've never seen before. That's kind of, marketing 101, isn't it? So you just need to coin a term, create a unique process, a unique mechanism, make it yours, and that's what you're going to focus on, right? So when people come along, they want to lose weight, they've done everything, they've tried everything, they see what you're doing and they think, oh, this is new, this is interesting, it sparks a bit of curiosity. So that's the thing, right? And the thing with a niche is you always want to niche down online, right? If you don't know this by now, you should, because if you try and target everyone, you're going to end up targeting no one, right? That old phrase. So you need to niche down, make the process yours, make it better than everyone else, and then that's the route you're going to go down. You're going to double down on that. Your one offer that's a unique opportunity, and you're going to target a specific kind of person, right? That's how you build pricing power, how you build value, because you're eliminating the supply and increasing the demand. So number 3 is focusing on one high-ticket offer. So everything that you've got in your toolkit, in your brain, you've got to present to the market. Everything. You're not just going to have some shit low-ticket offer, right? Your mindset should be you want to be the best. Out of everything that you have, your experience, your knowledge, how can you formulate the best possible service that you can possibly think of to get people from A to B, right, and reach their goal? Don't have like 3 or 4 low-ticket offers. Don't have different tiers, right? It's just going to confuse people. Just double down on your very best one high-ticket offer. Sell it for a premium and be proud of it, Put a lot of effort into making this service the best it can possibly be. Charge a premium for it. Don't accept shitty clients into the program, right? And just make it the best. So to make it the best from on the surface, right? Obviously, behind the scenes, people aren't really going to know what you do until they're in the program. However, on the surface, there's a few things that need to be in place, right? You have more pricing power when a few things are in place, right? One is specificity. So this one person who's trying to achieve this thing, how can you make your program tailored as much as possible to contributing them and helping them to actually get there, right? Don't make generalized features of your program. Make it specific to the transformation so that they feel like they're getting more for their money if they pick you over someone else who's just trying to target everyone, right? Another thing is a quantifiable end result. When people just promote the process, a training plan, nutrition plan, check-ins, that's just you get that as soon as you join. What people really want is to know that they're buying the result, basically. So you help this person achieve this specific thing in this time frame. That's what you want to focus on. You want to quantify the best possible results someone could get if they follow every single thing that you tell them to do in this time frame. That's what you're marketing, right? And if they don't follow everything you say, and you've got some sort of agreement in place with some stipulations, and you set expectations well in the onboarding process, then it's completely their fault for not getting to this goal that you marketed in your content. So you want to figure out what the best possible result that you can help someone get is, and that's what you're selling, right? You're not just selling the basic stuff, the process. Because quite frankly, you can whip up a training plan, a nutrition plan, and give weekly check-ins. It doesn't really take that much. That's not really something that's going to give you a lot of pricing power, right? You can't really charge high ticket if that's all you're focusing on. The reason they would buy high ticket is because they're paying for your experience and your expertise of getting people this one result, right? You've mastered this one result, and that's what they're paying for. Another thing is success rate. So how many of your clients, what's your success rate of clients who just do everything that you tell them to do of getting this result, right? If your Instagram is just hammered full of these social proof client wins that are super relevant to what they want, that's another thing that's going to push up the price. However, if your Instagram is full of random results from all sorts of different kind of people, then it's just not as potent. Like, it's not going to hit as hard. So that's why you want all your social proof just to be rammed full of the same thing, pretty much. Like, how many times have you gotten people to this result? What's the likelihood of them achieving the result? If it's high, then they're going to pay more money to do it, right? So this is what to focus on. No low ticket offers. Just formulate the best possible service that you could possibly think of into a package and sell that, right? There's a time and a place for low ticket and high ticket. If you're sort of in the lower stages of starting out online, you should be focusing on one offer, right? Directing people through one funnel, one offer, one type of person, and you'll do much better than trying to diversify and just have loads of offers, right? It just doesn't work. You'll make less money, I promise. Number 4, right? The rule of ones. So basically what I was just saying there, right? One funnel that directs people one way. You're targeting one kind of person, one audit onboard process, one productized, systemized service on the back end that is carefully engineered to get this one kind of person to their end result. Okay. The more complexity you add to the business, the more your focus and time is going to be spread thin. However, if you keep things simple, one through each stage, everything is going to be a lot more powerful and operate much more efficiently and effectively. So if you're just basically making this program the best it can possibly be to serve this one kind of person, you're going to get a lot less questions, a lot less friction, people, a lot less, disputes. People are going to be a lot more satisfied. People are going to feel a lot more sense of community, right? If they're surrounded by people on the same mission. But just from even a business point of view, though, like the operational drag with just having a simple business is going to mean that you're going to have a lot more free time. You're going to be a lot less stressed, and you're going to be a lot more happy as a business owner. So keeping things as simple as possible and only adding complexity into the business if it literally equals you being less stressed or you making more money, something like that. There has to be a positive benefit to doing it, or else you're just making things way more difficult for yourself. Number 5, right? The trifecta of success. So this is more down to focus, really, right? Productivity and focus. You only have so much focus that you can use across the week. So instead of focusing on bullshit like graphic design and God knows what else that people use to procrastinate, you want to figure out the 3 top needle-moving activities that are going to impact your business growth, right? Just 3, no more than 3. 3 of the things that are actually going to drive your business forward. And when you figured out what those 3 things are, you're going to do them every day, obviously. But then it's just a case of thinking about, okay, well, how can I shorten the length of time as much as possible to complete these things on a daily basis, right? And if you really get efficient to that level, watch how much your business will grow, right? These 3 things are simply just going to be things that generate you more money or generate you better results for your clients. Because realistically, those are the only two things that matter, let's be honest, right? Making more money and getting better results for your clients. That's the only two things you need to worry about. You having a better logo for your company doesn't do any of those things, so it's a waste of time. So you need to figure out what those three things are and really double down on them, and you will grow tremendously. I can promise you that, right? Number 6 is quit doing things based on how you feel, right? Use data to make decisions, right? So many people will what they'll do is they'll copy other people, but it won't actually be based on data. It'll just be like what they think looks cool and what they think the majority are doing. Now, there's a scientific way of doing that, right? And it's down to analyzing data. You need to stop posting based on how you feel. And what you need to do is you need to actually conduct a real competitor research based on your niche, see what's actually working based on, views, engagement, things like that, and actually have a systemized way of basically engineering your success online. Because I mean, it's not all about going viral, but if you do need to get to the point where you're generating 1,000 to 5,000 views per video, and then these people need to be as targeted as possible. If your sole purpose is just to go viral, that's taking it a bit too far. There needs to be a sweet spot here where you're using data and winning concepts that are already publicly available to you on these platforms as like the base for your ideas. And then you're adding your own sort of personalization and niche and expertise onto that in order to serve your niche in the best possible way. So it's a combination of two things, right? But organic content, you can really be quite scientific about it. Make sure that you are optimized, right? You're using winning variables. You're basically trying to become friends with the algorithm, right? You're trying to prove to the algorithm that you are valuable and you do have a lot to bring to the table. And when you start doing things that the algorithm likes, then it's going to start to push your content further. And when you capitalize on this little wave, momentum, whatever you want to call it, you can start doubling down on those things while also you're making sure that you're really giving as much value as possible to your niche, right? You're not just jumping on these shitty trends or stuff that doesn't really give your niche any value. You've got to do both, right? But if you're not appeasing the algorithm, you're simply not going to go anywhere. So it's kind of like, well, you need to jumpstart that, so then you can actually start serving your audience and helping more people. So instead of going off how you feel, use data and then go from that. Number 7, long form content. Now, it's crazy how many coaches still aren't using long form content, which I find mental, because if you haven't heard of the 7-hour rule, right, that's basically a rough guideline about how long it can take on average for a complete stranger seeing your videos for the first time to becoming a client of yours, right? And if you're only posting reels, man, that's going to take a long time. However, if you're posting YouTube videos that are 20 to 30 minutes long, might be a mixture of educational stuff, even just like day in the lives, right? Because if we think about what it actually takes for someone to become a client, well, they need to know, like, and trust you, right? And they also need to see you as a leader, an authority, because that's what a coach is, right? You're leading them to their transformation. So all of these things need to be ticked. So you're educating them, they're seeing a behind the scenes into your life, you're combining the two, they're watching you for hours at a time. When you then finally put an offer out to try and grab their attention, right, to lure them in, they're going to be far more likely to take action on that. So it's just a way more leveraged way of making content. It's also going to nurture them on a much deeper level, because even if someone watches 30 reels, right, you could argue that if they actually take the time to watch a 30-minute video, you know, they're sitting down, they're invested in what they're watching, you're going to nurture them much more than just a quick scroll. Because in that session where they sit down to scroll their phone, they might be watching, like, you know, 30 to 50 videos. I don't know. You know, if they're sat there scrolling for 1 hour, or even just across the whole day, if you're just one of 50 videos, you're not going to be as deep in their brain. However, if they've watched 3 YouTube videos that day, and one of them was yours, and they sat down to watch you for 30 minutes, they're going to remember you a lot more. So definitely it's a great tactic to use, and you want to be promoting your YouTube videos on your story, so you're actually funneling people to YouTube, and then obviously directing them from there. But it's something that people aren't using yet, which is crazy. You know, it's better for you as a business because it's more leverage, but even just from a client, like a audience point of view, it's far more nurturing, and especially that it's still a little bit untapped as well. That, you know, still a lot of coaches aren't actually using YouTube. You know, there's a lot of money to be made here, so definitely get on that. Number 8 is actually knowing how to use social proof, right? Because people will just post it and then that's it. However, if you actually learn to leverage your social proof in your content and use it as the base to then give them value, you know, it's going to hit way harder. And if you're at the point where you actually have a lot of clients and you're getting all these little wins from clients about things that you've told them to do and they've gotten a positive result from it, why aren't you making a reel about it? Like, say the hook. Say, my client did this, and here's the 3-step things we did to implement that allowed that to happen. Boom. Right? Use that as people will be more likely to watch to the end of the video if you back it up with social proof. Then after you use the social proof as the base, right, they're watching now, they're interested because it's a real life example. Then you drop the value, then you drop the call to action. The call to action doesn't have to be anything crazy. It might just be something like, go check out the rest of my videos if you want to learn about X, Y, and Z. You know, if you want to do this, then check out the rest of my content, and you'll learn how to do just that. You know, it's kind of like the snowball effect, right? So when you see one video, you send them to other ones, and then by the time they've watched, you know, a few, they've seen all this social proof, they're going to be thinking, okay, how do I reach out to this guy? Like, I'm interested, I'm sold. However, if it's literally just hook and then value, it just doesn't hit as hard. So you need to be literally using as much as possible. But that's not the only way. Like, even like client interviews on YouTube and stuff, if someone watches that and they're saying good, positive things about you for like 20 minutes, that hits hard. No one's doing that. No one's doing that. So you need to learn how to leverage social proof and maximize the potential that all these results are getting, and then just watch this snowball compounding effect. That's how people really scale. But a lot of people, they don't know how to use social proof effectively. Number 9, right? This one actually baffles my brain a little bit, because the skill I'm talking about is sales, by the way. And a lot of personal trainers don't even consider sales in the slightest. It's just not even a skill on their radar. In fact, a lot of people try and avoid it, to be honest. But sales is widely known as the number one skill that you need to have if you want to be successful in a service-based industry. Personal training, coaching, it's a service-based industry. You have to sell people on the service to get them into your program. So why wouldn't you try to improve your sales skills as a coach? It doesn't make sense, because if you can nail that, then that means all you need to do is get leads and get calls booked, because you know that your close rate is going to be high. And I've got clients closing 65% close rate on 3K fitness packages, right? So, if you do have some sales skills, you're going to that one thing is instantly just going to be making you far more money. And it's just about knowing how to lead a client to the end result being buying into your program, how to bridge the gap between where they are now and where they want to be. And also just having the confidence and the authority to not let them get in their own way. Like, if they threw a few objections at you, that's a natural protection instinct from the brain, because it's uncomfortable. They know it's a lot of money, but deep down they know they need this. So it's just about you holding your frame on the call, having the confidence to just talk them through it, and being preemptive about it, being proactive in terms of, if you know that these objections are likely to happen, then you need to have a way of navigating it that you can repeat every time it happens, right? But again, a lot of coaches, their sales skills suck and they aren't willing to do anything about it. And then number 10 is having the awareness to know where the bottlenecks are, but fixing it fast, not knowing about it and then it's still being a problem in 3 months' time. Why is it a problem in 3 months' time, right? If you know why things aren't happening, right, you can usually figure it out by working in reverse up the chain, right? Like, if you're not getting enough sales calls to meet your income goals, okay, well then it's a conversation thing, right? Well, I'm actually talking to a lot of people in the DMs, but I'm not booking calls. All right, well that's the bottleneck then, isn't it? Your appointment setting process sucks, right? That's what you need to think about. You need to know all the conversion rates that happen in your business, and you need to know how to diagnose that, and then you need to know what to actually do to fix it. So it's just about identifying these fast, right? And my clients, that's what we do. If they identify something that needs fixed, they tell me, we get to the bottom of it and we put things into place to fix it, to improve it. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope it was valuable. If you do want to book a call and have a little talk about your situation, your goals, just feel free to book in the link below, right? So yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.